Hi, what is going on, everybody? This is Zackie Xan with my army of corgis, as you can see. I'm back with another video about hero talent trees. That rhymed, so we're off to. In that regard, today we are talking about one of the Mage sub hero classes. It's called Sunfury. And long story short, as most talent trees are kind of, as I'm seeing, being designed, they entice or cater to this one specific activation or buff or move, and the other talents within the tree basically are like general talents that increase the overall damage and play of the mage, not regarded to the actual, like, I'll get into it. So with Sunfury, you get this Phoenix, but you only get the Phoenix when you summon what is called Arcane Surge, and it's a move you use within your rotation. When you use it is more so up to the mage, and that's what this video is not as much about. But when you do use Arcane Surge, you summon this Phoenix basically as a companion that helps you in battle. It does damage, all that fun stuff. It has a bunch of moves. It doesn't really give you any control of the Phoenix or tell you what the moves are, but I'm sure if you look online somewhere you could find where these videos or like where these moves are. More or less about that, we're going to get into the actual talents. The first one is called Spellfire Spears, and basically, so when you cast Arcane Blast or Arcane Barrage 6 times, or when you're out of combat, basically you charge up this damage buff. It increases your spell damage by 2%, stacks up to 3 times. I've been out of combat, so you can see them actually above my head. And the longer you're out of combat, the more you get these things stacked up. And long story short, increases my damage by 6%. How I lose them or whatever, what they're used for, is more so what I am trying to figure out myself. I hate to break it to you, I'm not completely filled in on like the ins and outs of this class. I'm still figuring it out. I'm putting this video more out there as a general front information for people that in a sense probably know the class more than me, but could use this to try to understand it better. So I apologize if everything that I'm saying is not really on point or key. So you have these conjuring a Spellfire Spear increases the damage of your next Arcane Blast by 15% or Barrage by 30%, so you can conjure them while in battle by casting it's like if you ever played League, you have 4 spells on Annie for a Sun. You get 6 spells in a time in a row, but Arcane Blast or Barrage, and then you make a Spellfire Spear. These increase your damage. Again, I don't know, because I have 3 now. I don't know what it would take for me to lose them. I'm sure it kind of explains that somewhere, hopefully. So we have merely a setback. Your barrier, prismatic barrier now grants 5% more avoidance while active and 5% leech. So it's increasing the durability and utility of that move. It has nothing to do with the Phoenix going on. We have a middle pillar talent tree in a sense where you get to pick. Right now, like I said, I couldn't really tell you exactly tick for tack which one is supposed to be better for which regard. I think they're both like your Arcane Phoenix will spell steal when it is summoned and when it expires. For example, truthfully, I don't even know what that means. So I went with the other one. It seemed cooler, where whenever supernova happens, it causes gravity lapse. If you ever fought Kalthas, you get like knocked up into the air and like you lose gravity and all that stuff. You could do that to your enemies, and I just think that's a cool mechanical movement that they've introduced to the game. Makes it more interactive in a sense on the combat side, is how I feel. Moving on, we're gonna go right to the left side. You have another one where you could pick or choose. I feel bad, I'm like standing near these people. You could hear the damage in the background. Savor the moment. When you cast Arcane Surge, this is why I think you should take this one, because it increases the duration of like the move, which increases the duration of the Phoenix, and the Phoenix is your pride and glory in this talent tree, in my opinion, but that's besides the point. The other one, Arcane Bombardment, damage is increased to 130, deals an additional 100% damage. I don't even know what Arcane Bombardment truthfully even is, so probably not the best guy to be asking on this one. This one, Codex of the Sunstriders. Over its duration, your Arcane Phoenix will consume each of your Spellfire Spears to cast an exceptional spell. Upon consuming one of them, the Arcane Phoenix will grant you Lingering Embers. Increases your damage by 2% up to 5 times. So this is, again, now we finally know what those spears are going to be used for. So the Phoenix is going to consume those spells, or consume the spears, and it's going to cast spells that are going to do more damage. Yeah, it's all rotational. Generating one of these spears while your Phoenix is active causes it to cast another spell. So once your Phoenix is active, it's basically, it looks like you just want to spam Arcane Blast. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, and that's going to stack your Spellfire Spears, which is going to cause your Phoenix to do more damage. And yeah, and the more spears you have, the more damage you're basically going to be doing at a time. So you get twice as much mana while you're using Surge. After the Phoenix is gone, you're granted granting Arcane Sulfur plus an additional 0.5 seconds for each. Huh. See, that's interesting, because I'm like looking at this now for like the first time, and I can't even truthfully understand what this means. So it would mean that you would get to use Arcane Barrage, which would keep all the stacks on Arcane Barrage, so you could just keep Arcane Barraging, which seems pretty crazy in my opinion. And that's after the Phoenix is gone. So that gives you some, like, it's about filling the gaps in between the when you could use the Phoenix and when you can't. That said, I'm gonna go for a test, DPS test. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be doing more of these videos. If there's anyone specifically class-wise or spec that you'd like to see, feel free to leave a comment. Have a good night.